Hey guys, this is a quick video. I haven't done a video in a while. I'm just making a quick one on my webcam. This video is going to be about money, of course. And, you know, we hear a lot in the media of raising the debt ceiling and buy gold, buy silver still. And we hear the same lines over and over and over from the government, from the people in the mainstream media. And none of them can ever talk about any specifics. Now it's got to be always this broad generalization of increase tax, decrease tax, raise the debt ceiling, lower the debt ceiling. Oh, you'll never hear lower the debt ceiling. The thing is, I feel great, by the way, because I know what's coming for us. We're going to be entering into a new era of humanity where money won't exist. It just won't exist anymore. It won't make sense to use it anymore. It would be it'd be more of an inconvenience to use money than anything else. Um, and I hate to burst people's bubbles, you know, because they always want more and more money, more and more wealth. And I think it's hard for them to conceive of an earth without using any sort of money or currency. So, but I mean, we have to take that next step. And they don't understand that if you have a world where you don't use money, you're gonna be richer than you're gonna be richer than fuck. I mean, anything that you would want, you get, pretty much. And the way that you would do that is through matter manipulation and understanding the laws of physics and how the universe works and all that good stuff. And but it's coming our way. There's not a doubt in my mind about it. Because the bottom line is money will make people do irrational things. They'll make them do irrational things. And all of these equations that the people have on the stock market and Wall Street and stuff like that, all of these equations are based off of the assumption that money will make people do rational decisions. And it may seem like they're making rational decisions, but when things come full circle, they are really not making rational decisions. For instance, if you go to Wall Street, go into any of those stock firms, and what you'll see is a bunch of people behind their computers all day long staring at numbers, trying to increase their wealth, their money supply. And they're thinking that they're doing the rational thing to do. But if you went to them early in their life, say when they were like 12 or 13, still a fresh mind, not really influenced by the corporate world and all of that. If you asked them when they were a kid if they would like to sit behind a desk all day long, every day, and do that, and spend their life like that, they would probably say no. That would not sound like the rational thing for them to do with their lives. But you have all of these people doing exactly that every day, just staring, trying to punch in digits in a database and increase their wealth. And here's the thing about money is you can only see things from your perspective. It's very hard to see things from anybody else's perspective. But to understand money fully, you really have to see the bigger picture. And money's just going to go away. It won't make sense to use money anymore. Like, there's a lot of things that, because of money, that we keep around. We say we need to keep these institutions around, and I mean, it's really not the best way to do things. I'll give an example. For example, let's take the example of tires, car tires, right? Everybody has a car. Everybody has tires. Now, in every tire, I've heard that something like 7 gallons of oil is needed to make every tire. So, every time that a tire pops, they need to make a new tire. And therefore, there's somebody has to buy a tire. And therefore, the company that sells the tires, their stock goes up, right? Now, there was an invention. They were called tweels. And basically, they were wheels without any air inside of them. And basically, they're made out of, I believe it was some type of carbon. But basically looked like a bicycle spoke instead of a regular rubber tire. And basically, the spokes would keep the tire, its shape, and it would have some give and would give you a little bit of bounce. But the thing is, they would never pop. You would never have to worry about any tire popping and having to fix a tire on the side of the road. So it would just make sense and would be better for everybody in the world to use these new tires called tweels, right? But if you think about it from using the money standpoint, the tweels would never sell as many. Like say the Tweel company, right? They start selling their products, and yeah, people start buying them. They like the idea of not having a tire that ever pops. But guess what? The business cycle will go around, and they'll look at their profits, and they'll say the older tires would still, the older companies would still be making more of a profit. And because those older companies would make more of a profit, they could put their stranglehold on the more efficient company and make sure that those tweels never make the light of day. And they don't. I don't see anybody using them, but they've been around for years, and they could have equipped every car with them by now, and nobody would ever have the problem of, we would never have that problem of a blown out tire in their life ever again. And the list goes on and on. That's just one example. And, because we're using fossil fuels and oil, and because we use 7 gallons of oil for every tire, they want to use as much of the oil and boost their profits. Basically, chaos, things that don't work very smoothly and are very inefficient, those will end up generating the most amount of money, the most amount of quarterly profits. And have you noticed the profits of the banks up like 90% in a year or something? Why do we need banks? A computer could take over the place of any banker. We just don't need it. You could use an ATM machine. But the list goes on and on and on of the more efficient ways of doing things are just not being brought to daylight, and eventually we're just gonna have to say, you know what, the money system has got to go. We'll find every reason in the world to keep this system alive. The patient is on the table, it's dead, and we just keep on smacking the paddles to resuscitate it. And we don't need to. Everybody gets, they try to scare the public and say that we need these financial institutions, and the truth is, we don't. We don't need them. Let's get rid of them.